Okay, welcome to Fireside Chat. Now, where is everybody? There are empty seats. We need to fill up Anderson Hall here. Such a great place to be, and we want to have more people here and experience it. But at least you are here, and there are those watching on TV. So the key is you get plugged in. We have a busy agenda. If I can just get it to do its thing. Whoa, okay, I'm catching on. Busy agenda. As always, there are just many things to cover from month to month. So we have lots of people who are going to give some updates. You know, we've got a fair amount of staff, people who have joined. This is all a very positive thing. So we'll definitely have some conversation about that. I won't read through all of these items, but you know, it's busy. We're going to do everything we can to stay within our hour. And well, while we're figuring those slides out, I wanted to mention that at the Residents Council meeting, we did the special award for Oliver. And hopefully you were in attendance to that. Yeah, that's right. And we gave him, and we did it at the Residents Council because Oliver was leaving town to go be with his family in the Philippines, and we didn't want to delay. So it wasn't that we didn't want to share it here first. It's just that was our opportunity. Otherwise, he was going to be out of town. But anyway, it was a plaque that says, you know, it was a creativity award because we know the kind of creativity that he has provided for so many years at the host station. I mean, it's really incredible. He does this on his own, right? He invents all this stuff. He puts it together, and it really is impressive. And no one's saying, you know, what's the next one? No, he does it because he likes it and he wants to please the residents, and we all benefit from that. So, and we also gave him some money, and it was a meaningful amount of money. Not going to tell you exactly, but know that we were very generous in that regard. So, yeah. So we will always continue to appreciate Oliver and everybody else in food service. You know, they got a challenging job and they're really trying to do their best at it. Doesn't mean that there aren't things that we can and should improve, but it's all in the context of a group of people who do want to make this all work. And this year, we're just going to get better at everything. Hopefully, COVID is just going to get behind us a little bit more and we can do more things, have more people involved, and get back to the kind of experiences for which everyone has wanted to be a part of Horizon. So that's our goal on that. Well, let's see here. Go ahead, advance the slide for me. Okay, West Tower project. As you know, and like, you know, I don't communicate that often on it because there aren't things necessarily happening that are worthy to pass along yet. But we will be going to the board on February 7th. That is also a meeting that for which part of it residents attend. And we will be sharing the details of the game plan for them to review and to approve, you know, going forward. So we'll be laying that out. There'll be lots of questions, and we'll have more details following that. So stay tuned for Feb 7. Anderson Hall, I mean, this is great space. I love it every time I'm in here for a meeting. I hope you do as well, this meeting or any other small meeting you might have. We still got some loose ends. We'll take care of the chairs and window film glazing, make sure that we've got some things on the back windows so that people don't walk through them, which I've nearly done too, so I get that. There'll be some drapes. We don't want to like close out the room, but there are times when you do want to pull the drapes. So there's still a few more things to do, and it's a function of supply chain stuff. These things don't show up when we want them to show up. So we just have to be flexible, and that's what we'll do. We want to save questions for the end, so I'm not going to ask for questions now. We'll do that at the end because we got a lot of stuff we want to get through. Next slide here. That'll work. Maybe. Yes. So this, many of you may know that Methuen got an architecture award for 2023. And this is one of the highest and most prestigious awards that architectural firms can get. And I bring it up just to remind everyone that you know, that we really do have high quality architects. I think this space reflects that as we make other improvements throughout the campus. we're working with a architectural firm that is recognized for its design quality, and the outcome is really kind of gorgeous stuff. So that's a good thing. And now we're going to shift to some new hire introductions, and Celerina Powell, I think, is going to come up and give us a rundown. That might work.
Didn't see there's a podium. Hello, everyone. Good morning and happy Friday. So of course I get the honor to introduce you all of our new hires, and let's see if I'm gonna have any trouble like Mike was having with the turning. There we go. All right. So coming to us, all of our lovely new hires that I've had the chance to onboard between the months of December and January. So we have Harry Bynum, our security officer. Harry works overnight. So if you all see him, he's here making sure the building's safe throughout the night. And then we have, did I accidentally press it? Oh, okay. Then we have Redempta Futangi, who is our front desk associate. I'm sure you all have seen her lovely face at the front desk. She is a joy and a great contribution to Horizon House. And then we have Brent Hedgecock. He is our EBS tech. Brent works mornings, if I'm not mistaken. Ooh, and then Kyra. Kyra is our garage parking attendant. And then we have Miss Jasmine Royal and Nigeria Henderson, who is also joining us in the garage. And then we have John Hall, who is our EBS tech. Ari Crandell, who also has joined us in the front desk as a front desk associate. Marquise Lee, he is coming to us overnight as well as security. And then we have Michael Monge, who is joining us as the EVS tech. Michael works mornings and during the day, so you'll see him. And then Stephen Matthews, he actually just started on Tuesday, coming to us as an elder care LPN. And Adam McFain, who was going to join us part-time as a garage and parking valet attendant. And then for our food services, we have some new servers. So we have Evan Pruitt, and then we have Gio Troso, who is joining us as well. And then everyone, I have on board today, and I had someone yesterday, and I have someone for Tuesday. So I'll be coming to you at the next fireside chat with more names. Thank you. I'm gonna get it together next time.
Good morning. It's great to see everybody in person. We have one new resident to introduce, but I promise we'll have more in the coming months. Miss Sarah Blumenthal. Sarah, would you mind just waving to your new neighbors? And thank you to whoever advanced the slide for me. Sarah was born in Oxford, Ohio, and has also lived in Ithaca, New York, Princeton, New Jersey, and Germany. She attended Oberlin College and Cornell University. Sarah is a member of the Mountaineers and is interested in gardening, fishing, and sewing. In fact, many of the fabulous clothes you will see her wearing were either knit or sewn by Sarah. Welcome to Horizon House, Sarah. And next up is Brittany Follett with some assisted living updates.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Please forgive me. I will not take off my mask with a lot of people, and I have a very young child at home, so protecting him. So my name is Brittany. I don't often come down to these things. We feel like we're up in assisted living quite often, but I'm happy to be here to give you all some assisted living updates. So I wanted to let you guys know that assisted living is getting a facelift. It's really exciting that we now have our renovations department taking over the room turnovers as people move out of assisted living. And so we are seeing a lot of continuity between what you guys get out in IL is happening in AL. And so it has turned some really beautiful output. So we've gotten the foyer in both the second floor and the third floor have been newly renovated. We've got new flooring and new cabinetry, new paint color, new lighting in the rooms. And so things are looking really beautiful. So we will soon have pictures for you guys so that you're able to see what changes are making place, but it's really exciting. We've also had a wonderful hiring this past 2022. And so I'm really excited that we've got some new people joining our team. We'll go to the next slide. So Kat Royan is our new Associate Director of Resident Care. Kat comes from Emerald Heights, and so she oversees all of the resident care on the second floor. Then we have Rena Henderson, who's our new social worker, also comes from Emerald Heights. And so if you guys are getting to know assisted living staff, we're going to be out and about a little bit more frequently so you guys can get to know our faces, our names. If you have questions, we are the people that you want to come talk to. And then also in alignment with what Celerina just said, we've got some wonderful staffing movement on our nurses and on our NAC, there are ECAs. And so we've been really able to reduce our use of the agency, which has been something that we've been really striving towards in 2022. So we're really positioned in a good spot for 2023. And we've also welcomed Seattle Central Community College students on campus. And so both nursing students and NAC students. And that has allowed us to get some hires from that program as well, where they come and do their clinicals with us. Okay, next slide. I wanted to give you guys all an update about what's going on with assisted living and COVID. Right now, we actively have COVID. So I'm going to tell you what it is right now and then what it is when we don't have COVID and kind of what those expectations are for things that we have to be following. Next slide. So as of right now, we have 3 people on isolation, and that has gone down. That is wonderful news. We've been able to keep it to 1 location. We had a very swift, rapid response and been able to really mitigate the transmission. So that's been excellent. We hope by next week, everyone will be off of isolation and off of quarantine. We are working with our local health jurisdiction, which is King County Public Health. And so they've been giving us good guidance and help us with procuring like test kits and things like that, so we can do increased testing for staff and residents to help us capture any new cases. So that's good. And things that we do when we have an outbreak is that we stop communal dining, we stop activities in that location. So that way, again, we just try to limit the transmission as soon as possible. And lastly, we've had some questions about visitation during this time. We are not prohibiting visitors. You are welcome to come. We are discouraging visitation because there is an increased risk. There's an increased risk to you by coming during this time, specifically to the unit that has the COVID outbreak. So, but as I've said, it's not prohibited. Okay. Next. This is our reminders of what, outside of having an outbreak, what are the things that we must follow at all times? This is coming from regulatory guidance. It's not things that we have control over. We are regulated by DSHS, and so this is coming from them. Masking is required in assisted living. As a healthcare facility, we are required as staff and family members, including you guys, residents who come into assisted living, must keep their mask on. If you are visiting, like I said, you're more than welcome to come on in. As independent living residents, you do not have to sign in at the kiosk anymore like you used to. However, if you have family or friends who are coming from outside, then we do want them to still sign in at the kiosk and check in that way. If you are visiting with somebody and want to take them downstairs, or they're coming to the bistro or something, just make sure that you help them check in and out at the sign in and out books. If there's an emergency, it's one of the first places that we go to look to see where a resident is at. The big thing for me right now is dining with assisted living residents. It is not allowed for residents or family members to dine with our assisted living residents in a communal dining space. That means our general dining room, as much as we would love for you to come and join with our residents to have a meal, as we know, eating is a very social thing. It helps people with intake. It's by regulation something that we cannot allow. So some options are, if you want to dine with your loved one or friend, you can dine in their apartment. You can also reserve the private dining room in assisted living, and you can do that through Ildiko, who's our Director of Life Enrichment. Or you can have them come down to the bistro or the dining room down here, and which case it does not matter. But in the communal dining space in assisted living, it is not allowed. So if you come and join us, unfortunately, I might be the bad person that has to come around and interrupt your meal and say, oh, I'm sorry, I need you to put your mask back on. You can't dine with them. You can be there, but you have to remain masked, okay? And lastly, we are full swing with activities. So we're having a great time, which Ildiko is going to share with you after I do. And I just wanted to share our team picture here. We got to get together this year for a leadership retreat. It was fabulous, focusing on what are our goals for 2023. And so we were all able to get together, snap our quick pic of everybody with their masks off. But I wanted to share that we are very happy to be here, and we're doing great up in assisted living, and we welcome you guys to come and stop by. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Ildiko. I'm an existing person here. Let's talk about, so it's been a year since I talked on the Fireside chat, and I would like to show you what we have done in the last 12 months. What image comes to mind when you hear the phrase assisted living activities? Maybe, but not at Horizon House. Today, I would like to talk about resident engagement, because this is what is actually happening on those two floors. So what is resident engagement? It is a collaborative act that is built on relationships. The person-centered experience empowers residents to live each day with purpose, and they have complete control over how they do so. They are encouraged to rediscover their passion and to make their own decision. And how does it look like? Resident engagement is based on a holistic approach to care that prioritizes person-centered strategies, versatile program to integrate preferences, self-education to stay up to date, partnership in the spirit of equity and inclusion, and adaptability to maintain optimal level of resident satisfaction and well-being. What does it mean, person-centered strategies? We support independence, honor choice, enhance dignity, and promote well-being. Versatile program to integrate preferences. It is based on the PIES, which is a smaller version of a whole wellness model, which means physical, intellectual, emotional, social, and spiritual activities are in balance, and it happens in one-on-one visits, through family visits, friendly visitors, small group activities, special events with independent living residents, outdoors, and outings. The next element is the staff education. we have requirements like dementia mental health trainings, first aid CPR. And above this, we have caregiving exercise specialist certification. And we participate on ongoing webinars by professional organizations, just like National Association of Activity Professionals and National Certification Council for Activity Professionals, or Link Senior. So partnership in the spirit of equity and inclusion, we are in close contact with the whole Horizon House community, team members, independent living resident committees, especially assisted living committees, and more closely with the friendly visitors. Thank you so much to Patty Flowers for her ongoing support. We are in contact with outside volunteers, vendors, the Freeway Park, and the Washington Talking Library. And the adaptability to maintain optimal level of resident satisfaction and well-being. This is about flexibility, being flexible to be able to adjust when it is necessary. And when it is necessary, when there is a change of condition or COVID protocol, what Brittany just talked about. Thank you. I hope you enjoy the pictures.
I would like to introduce Amanda.
Hi, everyone. I'm Amanda Rubel. I joined Horizon House about 3 months ago as the assisted living sales manager. And really, what's there to sell, right? We've got an amazing group of nurses, a life enrichment team that really does look at everyone as an individual, finding activities and lifestyle enhancements that reach their soul. It's been a pleasure to be here. And like I said, in about 3 months, we've moved about 8 folks over, and looking forward to working with a bunch of other families over the coming months to help with that transition. I think I mentioned when I was introduced in December that one of the things that I quickly learned was people feel like assisted living is a bit of a mystery at Horizon House. I think presentations like today from Brittany and Ildiko will help lessen that. But we've also decided as a group that we want to start just having office hours once a month. So similar to how the Peel Tech Help guy sets up shop in the Fireside Lounge, I'm going to set up shop every Wednesday. I'll say most Wednesdays because, as we do know, life gets in the way. But most Wednesdays you can find me between 11 and 12 in the Fireside room. I'll have a table and just drop by, ask questions, visit. Also, depending on their workload, I'll have Brittany, Ildiko, Kat, Sanan, maybe Sherry from Accounts Receivable to talk about finances. But we just want to be available for you on a casual basis to learn more about assisted living. All right. I look forward to seeing you starting February 8th, Wednesday. And now, Erica.
Thank you, Amanda. Good morning, everybody. Aloha, ha, 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 ha. It's great to have you. And I just wanted to remind you all that if you could go to the next slide. Quick update, it's January. That means it's time to review your important papers. And that means looking at your refrigerators or under your sinks to see if your pulse form needs to be updated, your vial of life needs to be updated, your DPOA, power of attorney, your wills, any of that. Any of those things, I'm available to do audits, go through those with you, see if you need those to be updated and help you through the process. Okay, so you can call me. I do that with small groups or individuals, and we'll come to your apartment and help you through that process. So give me a holler and I'll come and make your dreams come true with paperwork. Thank you very much.
Whoa. Good morning. It's so nice to be back where we belong. And I can see your lovely faces so much better. Since we've got a packed agenda, I'm going to go right into it. Briefly, just some quick updates. You've all heard from Ildiko, Brittany, Amanda. One thing that's really important is that our primary market for our audience for assisted living is you. And so we need materials that go into some depth to give you information and answer questions that you all have as residents that have been here for a long time. Many of you probably heard Jack Carr's wonderful presentation. We know how important that is to you. And so those materials will be forthcoming. And hopefully that clarifies and enlightens things for you. Back in October, I spoke with you about creating a new HH Connect, which is one of our primary communication channels. Well, progress is really moving along. Emily and I are working hard with our site developer, and we hope to go live with the new site in March. Lastly, the new January 2023 directory in scintillating red. I want to particularly thank Emily Wallace for all of her hard work. This is a very detailed job, and she takes it seriously. And with every directory, it just gets better and better. So please thank her if you get a chance. And it will be in your mail cubbies once you leave this meeting. So stop by and get your copy. All right, now it's time for a little quiz. And I'm sure you'll all do great. It's not hard. So it can be confusing to you as residents as to what staff does what and what departments they are in. Okay. So I'm here to tell you about departments from the front desk east. Okay. Who can, next slide, who can tell me who manages reception, AKA the front desk? Risa or Joan? Risa, correct. All right. Going on. So Risa is in charge of events and operations, and it includes reception, AKA the front desk. Part of the team is Jess Garcia, the concierge. Jay Shea, resident services. And what is resident services? You go to Jay when you need something notarized, when you need something copied, when you don't know how to use the copy machine. If you have a little project she might be able to help you with, that's Jay, okay? And then all of the staff at the front desk, Zoe, Larissa, Redempta, Michael, and Ari. All right, let's go to the next slide. Who manages sales? Joan or Andrew? Andrew, correct. Okay, next slide. So Andrew Harris is our director of sales, and the lovely Valerie Kilgore is our senior sales manager. All of you know her. She's been here for, is it 10 now? 10 years, Val? Amanda, who you just heard from, a super duper addition to the team. And then of course, Kiona Ransom, the sales and move-in coordinator. Okay, next. Who manages marketing and communications? Joan or Elvis? Come on, Joan.
Okay, so our team is small, but we like to think we're mighty. So it's me, it's Emily Wallace, Communications Specialist, and Taylor Campbell, Communications Coordinator. Taylor's our newest team member, and we'll talk in another fireside chat a little bit more about what she does. Next. So who you gonna call? Not Ghostbusters, okay? If you have a question about, you can really ask me about anything, but communication management overall is Joan. Front desk management and event programs, Risa. The alert, elevator signs, K4 app and Alexa. Okay, this is a hard one. Digital signs. No, Taylor does the digital signs now. And then HHTV scheduling. Jess Garcia does HHTV scheduling. I had a little chart that kind of shows the whole flow of things, but it would make my presentation too long, so I cut them out. Okay, lastly, this chart I presented to you back in September. It shows all of our communication channels, their purpose, and how they're published. And on the back are the names of the people that you call to ask questions in this realm too. And it's got their phone numbers, all of our phone numbers. So there'll be copies of this chart in the mailroom on the mailroom table. Okay, so it's a good thing to follow up on and look at. With that, thank you. I bid you adieu. And please welcome Ruth Ann and Charlene, the fabulous women of philanthropy.
Well, good morning. I am Charlene Hutchinson from the Philanthropy Office with my coworker, Ruth Ann Ford. Let's see. All right, I'm happy to share with you our Partners in Caring report card for 2022. We received $466,000, about $16,000 over our goal of $450,000. So very happy about that. Our resident participation is 81%, and we appreciate that and thank the community for your generous support. We often are in the low 80% average, and that's great. We continue to message to people that you can make a gift at any level that's comfortable for you. All right, as a result of 5 residents opting to leave Horizon House in their will or as a beneficiary to their retirement account, we received almost $2 million in 2022. And then last year, we had 2 residents come forward and say that they had also opted to leave Horizon House in their will or their beneficiary of their retirement account. All right, and here we go. You see, the earnings from our endowment helped to satisfy these programs. Residence assistance at $460,000. And as a reminder, this does fluctuate from year to year. We almost at one time reached $1 million in support for residence assistance. Staff scholarships, we were able to award $40,000 to our staff. And our grants, we paid out $23,000. We have $50,000 that's available all year. We have $25,000 at each interval when in the spring and in the fall. And now breaking news, as of yesterday, we met with our philanthropy committee and we talked about changing the name of the GEM grants to something else that resonated better. So we voted and decided to call it the enrichment grants. So look more for information on that. That'll come out in the spring. It'll be referenced again as the enrichment grant, not the GEM grant. And now let's see, yes, well, here we go. Each year, we work with HR to determine ways that we can expand and widen the net for our staff scholarships. And this year we did, or this coming year, in this year, we did expand it to include some other exciting opportunities. And I'm going to let Ruth Ann talk more about that.
Thank you, Charlene. Morning, everybody. We are so proud and excited to announce some changes to our staff scholarship program. Over the years, we've seen this, our staff scholarship program dollars were not being utilized in as much as we would have hoped. So we made some changes and made it more accessible to our staff. With help with your donations, our human resources team, executive team, and the philanthropy committee, we made these changes. So now staff can receive $12,000 each year to attend university and college courses. That's up from $6,000. And a really amazing benefit is that now dependents can receive that same amount every year. Yeah. This program is being very well promoted by our human resources team during onboarding, all staff emails, through the benefits fair, through stand-up meetings. And so we're really happy that our human resources team is doing such a great job with that. I met with several staff members during a benefits fair that said that, you know, they had never been able to use the staff scholarship program because of their family obligations. And they're just so happy that now their children will be able to use this benefit. Already 4 people have applied for staff scholarship, including 2 people who are ECAs and 2 people that work in EBS. Their children are attending university. Okay, next slide. We have a new look for Partners in Caring. This new logo is more in line with the Horizon House logo. And then lastly, we will be talking about estate planning next month. You'll receive more information in your cubbies, but our Heritage Society is our legacy program at Horizon House. Charlene mentioned it. So for anyone that has included Horizon House in your estate plans, you're included into our Heritage Society. And we're so proud that we have 104 members of our Heritage Society. And these dollars support our Partners in Caring endowment, which supports all of our philanthropy programs, residence assistance, staff scholarship, and enrichment grants. So thank you very much.
And now Jeff Townley.
How's everybody doing today? Happy Friday. Absolutely. All right. Well, starting off, Mike kind of mentioned it earlier. Can't say enough for Horizon House for putting this together for Oliver. Everybody knows what he does for all of you and this place and the decor and the displays he puts up for holidays and everything. Just I know brings a lot of joy and everything to the community. So I'm just very happy that they were able to get this award for him, the Creativity Award. Gave him a little bit that he's going to be able to take home with him when he goes back to the Philippines and have a really good time. So I know it's been several years prior to the pandemic before he's been home, so he hasn't seen his little boy in several years. So I'm so happy that he's getting to go back. And so he'll be gone March 20th through April 20th. So we'll have to bear for 4 weeks without him, but it's well deserved for sure. All right, moving on to the next. So the last big event we had was New Year's Eve, which I thought was a fantastic night. We had a pre-ordered plated dinner, lobster tails, short ribs, you know, the whole 9 yards. The decor from Oliver and the New Year's Eve staff with all of you was just phenomenal. I couldn't have been more happy with that. And the whole night just was smooth and a really nice time. And it was my first time experiencing how you all gave us a standing ovation. We went around the room at the end of the night, and I mean, that just still gives me chills down my bones. So I really appreciate that. And it was just a really good night. So moving on, Eat Smart Buffet. So it's kind of a new thing we're going to be starting off here. Last year, about every quarter, we did the Healthy Eating Buffet. We're kind of rebranding that a little bit to Eat Smart Buffet, and that's going to be kicking off on February 9th. So we'll be having the buffet that night. We're going to start it off with a little happy hour around 4 o'clock. You can come in, get a drink, sit down, relax. Our new RD, Jessica Bertrude, will give a little presentation about it, and then we'll have a nice dinner after that. We're going to be focusing a lot this year on the blue zones, which Jessica has been highlighting in our nutritional corners in the menu packet for the last several weeks. And so I think it's a really cool thing and a really good way to introduce some new food that might make its way onto the menu, and it's healthy and it's good for all of us. So looking forward to that. And then some other events coming up this month, obviously Valentine's Day. So look for some more information coming on that. Super Bowl Sunday's coming up. So we'll have something going on. I think we might do some wings and hot dogs in the bistro, something along those lines. We'll do a nice event for Mardi Gras. Last year was a lot of fun. Oliver brought out all the beads and the masks and everything, and we had a really fun time with that. And then towards the end of the month is National Margarita Day. So I thought, why not do a happy hour for that, you know? So look forward to that. I don't think it'll be in here. This place gets pretty booked up, but we'll do a nice happy hour in the dining room before dinner that night. All right, so then moving on, just a personal note, as a lot of you know, baby number 2 for me and my wife is coming very soon. So I'll be taking a little personal leave. Really excited about that. I know, and I should have mentioned the robot a little bit more. We've been talking about robot, and we're going to do a contest for the name. We were joking with some people yesterday, maybe we have 2 contests to name the baby as well. So I don't know if that was, but definitely need to come up with some names there. But it's a boy. I have a 4-year-old daughter, so we're completing the circle here, and we're really excited for that. So I'll be in and out for the next 6 weeks or so, but you know, you'll see me a little bit, and then Oliver will be gone. So you know, you might see some other faces. We're going to have some help come in from Morrison's side to help us out while me and Oliver are out. So I think that's it for me. Yeah. All right. So next, I'd like to introduce Ned Lang, Resident Council updates. Thank you.
I need that. Put up the slide, please. It's coming. Yes. Next weekend, program book will be in your cubby. Program book is what outlines our activities, and accompanying it will be one sign-up sheet in each cubby and a box of additional sign-up sheets for those apartments which have 2 people living in them. And they will be also available in the mailroom, where there will also be a box for you to deposit your sign-up sheet after you check it off. One sign-up sheet for each resident, please. Drives us crazy if you try to do it. We have to go back and get 2 more from you, 1 from each of you instead. So please, 1 per resident. This year, we only have 68 boxes for you to check. 68 activities. Remember, if you're already signed up, sign up again for the next year. You can re-up, it's re-enlistment time as well. Your participation in these activities and events are what make Horizon House what it is. It's our culture. And it not only contributes to our existence, it's necessary for it. It may make you healthy. It's existential for Horizon House and for our culture. So please sign up and participate. You will note on the sign-up sheet, there are a few, or not on the sign-up sheet, in the program book, that there are a few activities that don't have a facilitator or co-chair named. We need help there. Please. It's interesting and surprising to me that several of those are parties. I mean, my God, we're a bunch of party givers and party makers. So let's get together and have some big parties, and you can throw a party at our expense. The resident council will pay the bill. How often do you get that opportunity? My gosh. Well, so let's all join, sign up. Next week, it's coming. It's here. Thank you. Back to Mike for Bright Spot.
Great, thanks, Ned. You know, there are a ton of things going on around here, that is for sure, and it feels like the pace is picking up. And it's up to me now to get this meeting done by 11 o'clock. I think I can actually do it. So a couple of things I wanted to mention here and bright spots, reminders, and so on, is, you know, we got a lot of communication channels that Joan talked about. And people say, well, you know, why do we have so many communication channels? Because people consume information differently, and some want to see it, some want to read it, some want to hear it, some want to see it in multiple places. So Joan works very hard to create the channels that will best work for folks. And sometimes someone will come in and say, well, you know, I don't know why you had to put that over there. And somebody will say, why didn't you put it over there? So, you know, the point is we want to make sure that we are communicating, and we take feedback. So please chime in. On the thing that Erica brought up about paperwork, now's the time. You know, we get started in a new year, we got to deal with taxes and stuff like that. Let's get the paperwork done so that you are safe and secure and your family is safe and secure when things happen, and we need to have that information. You know, we and the administrative side have been on the other end of when families don't plan, and it gets messy, and it just consumes time, and sometimes things then don't get handled as you would like. And you may not be around to be able to solve that problem, so do the paperwork. I also want to mention something about the great little presentation by Ildiko and by Brittany on AL. You know, we're intentional. This doesn't just like kind of happen and kind of sort of some people up there kind of sort of doing some stuff. No, they're very thoughtful in how they will be as careful about the planning and the programming for people who live in assisted living to give the best possible life that people can have. And I think we owe them so much credit for the work that they do to make assisted living work. So you may have noticed the screens are up a little bit higher. So, you know, it isn't that we changed the slope of the hall here. We raised the screens so that maybe everyone could see at the bottom. Hopefully that is helping folks. You can put on the slide deck thing there if you want to. So a couple of things I do want to mention on garage safety. You know, we're living in an environment where we're not always confident that the people in our neighborhood are all okay. So when you drive into the garage, make sure you just look out your rearview mirror and you watch to make sure nobody is following you in and then penetrating our safety and security of the building. It's an easy step, but one that we can kind of forget. So please try to remember that. We're, you know, taking a look at how we can do some more things with lighting over near the Terry Street garage. So these are constant improvements too. Things that back in the day we didn't have to think about, and now we do have to think about it. Email scams. You know, I get an email scam probably at least once a day. And oftentimes it will come from a resident saying, gee, do you use Amazon? I need some help, okay? I get them virtually every day. Or gee, I'm trying to do this with, a such and such card. Can you help me? And I'm going, wait a minute, that resident wouldn't be asking me that question. Doris Ray is not wanting me to help her with her credit cards, okay? I would, but she doesn't need that help. So the point is that when you get those goofball emails, you know what? Erase it. Worst case scenario is if you get rid of it, the people who really want to get to you on something you should know about, they will try you again. So be very cautious. I had a resident drop off a thing to me yesterday saying, hey, I just got scammed and I followed it. I thought it was something real and I lost $250. Okay, so we don't need any of that stuff. When in doubt, just jettison it. If it's important enough, they'll come back around. I get all these things that talk about, I better call Social Security. There's something wrong with my account. I better get a hold of my bank because of this, or this. You know what? The banks don't do that kind of stuff. There's a much more formal process, and same with Social Security. So be very, very, very skeptical and just get rid of those things. If you see them, if you have a question, you can certainly ask us. Okay, next slide. All right, we do have our small group sessions coming up on the 31st at 9 a.m. and 10:30 and 2:30. Sign up with Beth. There's always kind of a limited number of people. And I know some people have said, well, why don't we just have like a big thing like this and have it be the questions and answers? And there's some value to that. But sometimes I believe that getting in a smaller group where people can ask questions in a smaller environment and be able to have a more intimate discussion about a topic is the better way to go. And so these are sessions that we have that we want you to ask questions. We have some prepared things so that we don't all start looking at our shoes if there are no questions. But we do want you to ask questions, and we try to answer things as best we can. And if we can't answer them, we try to say why we can't answer them. And then we try to get back to people. So please take advantage of those opportunities. We're going to be talking at this one a little bit about our, kind of our financial review for 2022, how we did. It's important that you know how we do financially. You want us to be secure and healthy financially. So we'll talk a little bit about that. Christy will cover that. We'll talk about our 2023 budget, and we'll make sure that we leave time for questions. So we have these sessions because we want to be informative and helpful to you. So take advantage of it. On Tuesday, February 7th, we'll have our annual board meeting. Not all communities have board meetings that invite the residents. And we do, and this is a chance to ask some questions. It is a chance to get to know our trustees. Our trustees now, more than any time in my history, are very interested in knowing and understanding your points of view. It doesn't mean that they're going to run with every idea that gets surfaced, but the more conversation you have with trustees as a person to person, human to human, the more they appreciate and have sensitivity, are sensitive to things that matter to you. And sometimes that is a better way that if I'm interpreting that, or Christy or lawyer is interpreting that for the board members, sometimes it's better that you just say what you need to say to a board member. It's a good opportunity to have a chance to be one-on-one with them. And there are not that many opportunities, so take advantage of it. They will also do some introductions and so on. All right, on the bright spots, we just can't say enough about Oliver, so we'll say it again. That was a lot of fun and a privilege to be able to do it. And you can see some of these decorations that he has done over this past year. It's just pretty exciting stuff. So with that, and we are just coming up on the end of our time, almost right on target, let's cover some questions. Yes, Grace.
So my resident-driven community, and yet for me, I see the West Tower project as a gigantic, dark cloud. I do not, and I just don't see how I can look my neighbors in the eye and say, I'm sorry, I know this is a very difficult time of life for you. I know the circumstance, and yet I'm going to uproot you.
Yeah.
For some other purpose.
Yeah.
I don't care that your health is failing. I don't care that this is not a good time for you to move.
Yeah.
I don't care that we may have to put you off campus and separate you from our community because we're looking for our future and not yours. I just don't know how I look these people in the eye.
Well, Grace, that's a very good point. And it is a very, very tough subject. And, you know, a lot of your points there are well taken. And I think that as we look to the organization, we have to balance the needs of individuals and the needs of the long-term sustainability of Horizon House. This is what we believe is the best thing for the long-term future. And it is very, very unfortunate that this happens on somebody's watch. You know, it would be nice if it didn't. It would be nice if, you know, if you're building a brand new community, you're not upsetting anyone's lives. That would be ideal. And yet, as an ongoing community, that's not our luxury. It's not our privilege. What I can say is we have to do the very best job to try to make the transition as seamless as we possibly can and be as respectful as we possibly can, to be as flexible as we possibly can, and to make what is just plain a difficult decision and one that is going to affect a lot of lives as carefully as we can. And it won't be perfect, but we will do, as we do most things at Horizon House, as intentionally and thoughtfully as we can. Christy and I have been working on a game plan where no one will have to be relocated outside Horizon House. It's not a slam dunk yet, but this is what we're trying to do because we don't want people separated from the community. So we will do our very best. And we hope that over time that this will be a project, if it all comes to pass. There's still some other things along the way to determine if this is an absolute done deal. But if it does come to pass that at some point in the future, you will see that as an advantage to the community. What we do know is that we all stand on the shoulders of others. We are here experiencing this because of decisions that were made on the North Tower. And the North Tower displaced some 84 people all the way down to Renton, okay? And a lot of those people ended up moving into other types of communities when the North Tower was built. Had we not done the North Tower, had we not had the pattern of building every handful of years, we simply wouldn't be the Horizon House we are today. And our responsibility of the trustees, people in my role and others, is to try to do our very best to balance the needs of the community right here, right now, with the future, so that there is a future that you will be the legacy creators of, that somebody down the road is going to benefit from this. We can take a position and say, well, listen, it's about me and it's about right now and it's about what I'm experiencing. And there's truth there. There's absolutely truth there. There's also truth that when you join a community, you join a community that is to live on in perpetuity. And that part of our responsibility, it's not an apartment building. This is a community for which we commit to today and we commit to the future. And it is hard. And I can't sugarcoat that. We can do our very best and hope that the transition is one that works for people and that we are able to then sustain ourselves into the future so that other generations down the road will have the benefit that you have today, as you have for the decisions that were made for other people, from other people years and years ago. That's what I can say on that. We'll do our best. Yes.
The philanthropy presentation indicated that the scholarships will be available for university training. What about other kinds of training? Let's say, for example, someone really wants to go to a beauty school or to become a barber. Is that kind of assistance also available? It did not appear to be so with the
The
presentation.
expert has arrived.
I thank you for the question. And yes, it will also apply to people who are going to take a course, a personal or professional development. So it's not just universities. It does expand to other programs as well. There's someone who's doing a 4-week program and it does cover that. So thank you for the question.
Other questions?
Hi, you talking about email scams. I just want to mention the telephone scams. At least once a day, I get a call from someone who says I'm a Medicare counselor. I was a Medicare counselor for 10 years. I will tell you, Medicare does not call you. Those calls are all to sell you something. As soon as you hear the word, hi, I'm Susan, I'm a Medicare counselor, just hang up. They are not from Medicare. Medicare never ever telephones. They send you a letter if they need something.
Great, Cammie. Thank you for that. Anyone else? Questions? Well, thank you. Hopefully this was informative and helpful, and we look forward to seeing you again soon. Thanks so much.
There it is.